Morning everyone, it's Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42. It is Monday, the 23rd of November. It is the week of Thanksgiving here in the United States. So I have a lot of things related to being thankful that I wanted to talk about on this video. So I'm going to start off with some finishes. I got nine things FFO'd, but I'm only going to show 1.5. Yeah, I know you're going, how do you show 1.5? Well, just stick around and you'll find out. So, last August 2019, I was invited to a stitching weekend at my friend Lori McCleary's house over in Sisters, Oregon, and there were 9 of us there. Those ladies were, I had to write down my list because for some reason I always manage to forget one. The ladies that were over there was our hostess, Lori McCleary. She is textilist on YouTube and Instagram. Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher, and her sister, Carrie Van Handel. Linda Jo Cobb, who's pretty Southern. Anita Schaub, who is Holly and Anita. You guys need to do a video. And then 3 ladies who don't do videos as of this time, Marcy Thiessen, Lisa Rio, and Tara Sullivan. And we became the Sisters of Bacon. Like I said, there's a whole video that talks about how that name came about. But earlier this year, we decided that we were going to do a fob exchange. And I've decided that I am trying to qualify for the Overachiever Award for doing this. I'm very thankful that these ladies have been in my life and have become friends. And when we decided to do this fob exchange, I decided to do it all because overachiever. So my original plan was I was going to make 9 fobs. I was going to make one for myself too. I don't need one. 8 was plenty. I came up with a motif from a larger pattern that I thought would suit us. And that's the half of the finish that you're not going to see because I haven't sent them out to the ladies yet. I've got all 8 of them sitting here on my table. So I decided that I was going to stitch 8 of these. And along with that, I thought I could braid the cording that I'm going to use to finish these with, because you've all seen that I've been using the floss bracelet kits that you can buy for kids to make cording to use on some of my finishes. Yeah, I was using Zoom meetups to get those braided, 8 of them, each one of them 12 inches long. Because I'm just a wee bit crazy sometimes. So last Monday, I got started on finishing these. I cut out 8 pieces of foam core, 2¼ inch square. I cut out 8 pieces of mat board, 2¼ inch square, because I'm doing a flat mount, the way Vonna has taught me how to do it. I had the 8 braids that I was going to use to wrap these pieces. I had 8 pieces of fabric to use to cover the back of it. And I started putting them together. Well, when I started putting them together, I realized that I only had stitched 6.5 motifs and not 8. So I had to finish stitching 1.5 motifs and then get that linen cut so that I can finish these. I started working on the first one and I was putting it together, and I realized that I hadn't put the lobster clasp on the O-rings, nor had I put the charm on the O-rings that I got to go with this. So I had to stop and get 8 lobster clasps put on 8 O-rings, 8 charms put on 8 O-rings, and finally I had everything all set out for me. And it's taken me a week to get these put together. I am going to show you the back of one, because I figured at least that way you get some idea of what I was working on. I made mistakes along the way. A couple of them, I didn't quite give myself enough room with the linen for the front of it, but I was able to fudge those. So anyway, what I'm going to show you here, hold on, I've got to go get my whiteboard. Okay, so this is the back of one of the fobs that I've made. There's a piece on the front that has the design that I can't show you because I'll take a picture of them and post the front of it on Instagram after I get these mailed out to my ladies. This is the back. You can see the braid. You can see the charm and the lobster clasp up here. I'm going for the Overachiever Award on making fobs for 8 ladies who I am so thankful are in my life. So there was 8 of these finished, and this is only the half that I'm showing you. So now does it make sense when I said I'm only going to show you 1.5 finishes? I hope so. So I got all 8 of those done. I got the last one finished yesterday. And then I had to finish the piece that I had stitched for my neighbor next door, Linda. I don't think she watches my videos. I know she follows me on Instagram, which is why I haven't been showing this on Instagram. But this is from the 2020 Christmas Ornaments magazine. This is a Pickle Barrel Designs. This is Ho Ho Home, and this is how I finished it for them. I've made it into an ornament. Like I was saying, they also have a camper that they use a lot. So I was thinking not only could they put this on their Christmas tree if they decided they wanted to, they could hang it in their trailer if they decided they wanted to do that too. Now in the book, it shows it as a square finish and it's mounted on a second piece of backing. I decided that I wanted to do the curved top. So when I was laying out my foam core for this one, I measured out how wide I wanted it to be, how high I wanted the design to be, and then at that point I used a compass and I made a rounded edge. I pinned it, I taped the bottom of it, I glued the rest of it down. The back of it, I went for a nice woodland scene, and then I used Lady Dot trim chenille. This is Ogden grass. The color is Ogden grass, and I think that this turned out really, really cute. So those are my finishes that I worked on last week. Alrighty. I have a couple of past the stash that I need to address. This is video number 110-ish. Back on video 108, I was offering up a pattern that had been sent to me from Jean, and it's called Salem. It's by Mercerie de la Gargoulet. I have a hard time speaking English sometimes. But anyway, this is an adorable pattern. But I know I won't get around to stitching it, so I decided that I would pass it along. Now, these three right here, I think would be cute just finished by themselves. Or this right here, I think would be absolutely fantastic. And that's something that I've started doing. I mean, with the fobs that I made, I used a single motif from another pattern. When I get into my new start, I'm only stitching part of the pattern. I did the same thing with my autumn alphabet. I stitched what I wanted and didn't stitch the rest. I'm looking at patterns a whole different way now. See something that I like and it doesn't necessarily mean I have to stitch the whole thing. We'll get into that. Anyway, Jean sent this to me. I decided to pass it along. I pulled up a name this morning, and quiltma-Sue Goodin. This will go to you. So I will leave my email and my Instagram information down in the drop box. Please drop me a message and send me your address so I can get that out in the mail to you. The other one that I wanted to pass along from my last video was a Lizzie Kate pattern, Spooky Eyes. Now, when I showed this in my video last week, 2 weeks ago, see, I can't even speak English. I commented that Amanda, who is Alba Stitcher, and she's new to YouTube, but I've been following her for a while on Instagram, she had also finished this. And she contacted me right after I finished that video and said, when you draw a name for yours, will you draw one for me also? So she is going to send her pattern out too. Again, something to be thankful for. This community has introduced me to so many people, and I really am thankful for that. So I drew 2 names this morning. Now, here's the funny thing. The first name that came up for this drawing, for Spooky Eyes, was Amanda, Alba Stitcher. I know she just finished it, so she doesn't need me to send her my pattern. She has it. She stitched it. So I spun it again, and the second time I came up with Janet Stopol. So that's who I'm going to be sending it to. Then I spun it a third time, and the third one that I came up with was B's and T's Stitching. That's the one that Amanda will be sending hers to. So B's and T's, you can either contact me or contact Amanda. I know she's on Instagram as Alba Stitcher, and get your address out to her so that she can send that on to you. So new to me, not new to me, people I've been visiting on Flosstube. I just watched Becca's latest interview with a Flosstuber, and she was talking with Michelle, Mama Loves You GB. I've been watching her for a couple of months now. Very nice lady, and I thought it was kind of funny that here I had her as my person to mention this week, and then I watched her on an interview with Becca. She does Halloween stitching, she does samplers, she does some fantastic stuff, and I really enjoyed watching the interview with her. So if you get a chance, go check her out. She's Mama Loves You GB. Again, it'll be listed in the drop-down box below. The other lady that I visited was Wendy. She is from the Heart Needle Arts. She's a designer. If you watched the Friendsgiving celebration that Becca, Anna, and I did last Thursday, I had offered up one of her patterns as a pass the stash on that video. And Anna was teasing me. She made the comment that I like to give away things that I've gotten at retreats. It's not so much that I want to give away the stuff that I've gotten at retreats. It's just I know there's certain things that I'm not going to stitch. And I know Anna was just picking on me. She does, and I love it. But, and I'll get more into retreat starts and finishes in a bit too. Anyway, Wendy does some beautiful, beautiful designing. One of the past stash that I did on the Friendsgiving celebration was one of her patterns. Go check her out. She does some fantastic samplers if that's your style. Go check her out. All right, talking about the Friendsgiving celebration. That was so much fun. And again, I am so thankful to those ladies for being my friends, and especially to Becca for coming up with the idea of the three of us getting together and doing a live video. We laughed, we giggled. It was a blast. If you weren't able to join us when we did it live, go to Becca's channel, Sambry Stitches. It is up there. It's about an hour long, and we're crazy in the best way possible. Again, something to be thankful for. But like I was saying, Anna was teasing me because she said that apparently when I get things at retreats, I like to give them away. Sometimes. If I know I'm not going to stitch that pattern, then yes, I will. Acorns and Threads was going to put on their first ever stay at a hotel retreat this year. It was going to be the Pacific Northwest Stitcher Summit. Because of COVID, it got postponed. It got, mind went blank. Because of the fires, it got postponed. It got canceled because of the coronavirus. It got postponed because of the Pacific Northwest fires. When we received our packages for the retreat that had our patterns in it from Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery and from Paulette Stewart of Plum St Samplers, I looked at them and I loved all of them. But honestly, when I looked at Paulette's pattern, I thought to myself, I'm not going to stitch this because it's got a house in it. And I'm not a big house stitcher. But then I was watching Lisa Smith, and she was talking about it. And I started thinking, I need to go back and I need to look at that pattern again. And then I watched Olivia, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and she was talking about it. And she made the comment that it's not so much a house as it's a barn full of pumpkins. And I thought to myself, I really need to go back and look at this again because I may have dismissed it too soon. So this is the pattern that was designed for the Pacific Northwest Stitcher Summit. This is the Gather In. And as you can see, there is a huge barn on there. But remember when I was talking about stitching motifs? I saw something on here that I really liked. Take a look at that wagon. It has pumpkins on it. It has an acorn. It has an oak leaf. And I thought, yeah, I could do that. So I pulled out all the stuff, and we got this lovely floss card that has Calliope on it. Calliope is the horse in the pattern. And these are just some of the flosses. Then we got all of these, and there's Weeks Dye Works and DMC colors in this whole thing. We got a lovely piece of fabric. It is graham cracker, dyed by Graham, Kitten Stitcher, Sun. And I decided that I was going to stitch the motif so that I could make it into a small finish, because I need some more fall, not Halloween smalls to display in my house. So this is what I have gotten started. This is a 36 count fabric, if I remember correctly, and this is the wagon. I've got the acorn, one of the pumpkins done, and I'm working on the other pumpkin. What I'm thinking of doing with this is I'm just going to do these. I'm going to do the oak leaves and the flowers that are around it, and I'm just going to do enough to make a small pillow out of it. So Anna, I don't give away all the things that I get from retreats. I just give away the things that I know I won't get to. I have so much upstairs. It really surprised me when I was upstairs organizing stuff in the craft bureau the other day that I've got a lot. I've got a lot of things to do. But anyway, this little wagon right here, I'm going to stitch all around it. Probably not the horse, so maybe like that, and make a small pillow out of it. Because there is no cross stitch police, right? We can do what we want to do. Alrighty, so that was my new start. The only other thing that I've been stitching on is my Alphonse Mucha, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. I want to share a bit of mail that I received. I've talked about being a member of the Stitchers Coven on Facebook, and I talked about the exchange that we were doing, and that some people were abandoned because others felt that they couldn't uphold their end of the commitment. So I adopted somebody. I adopted Jean, the one who sent me Salem. I got a package from Vicky, Stitch and Button, the other day, and it just made me smile, because when I adopted Jean to send her something for the exchange, I didn't expect anything in return. Again, it's one of those things that I'm thankful for. I received something, and I honestly felt like everybody else should receive something too. So I wasn't expecting to get anything back. I wasn't expecting to get the pattern that Jean sent to me. I wasn't expecting to get this small needle minder from Vicky, but both of those just made my day. And again, I am so thankful for being part of this community. So she sent me this needle minder that says Witch's Brew, and on the card it says, for witch hitting. That's what they called us. We were witch hitters because we stepped in and got something out to those people who had been orphaned. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you to all the ladies in the Stitchers Coven. You all know that I love you, and I am thankful that you are part of my life. Okay, Alphonse Mucha time. Last week when I showed her, I was working on both sides of the archway, and I got both of those sides filled in. So let me pause the camera, spin it around so that you can see her. I am loving working on her, and pretty much she and the wagon are the only things that I've been stitching on. So hold on just a moment. I think I sat here and fiddled around with my camera enough that I've got her somewhat straight on the screen, although for me the whole thing looks really crooked. I got all of this stitched in here. I got all of this stitched in here, and then I started working on coming in here. I now want to work on the center underneath the arch here. This line right here is the end of page 1. Right around here over to this side is page 8. I still have to finish the white stitching that comes down on the border on this side. I saved this white stitching for when I'm using this on a Zoom meetup, because all I have to do is 6 rows of white all the way down. It's a great thing to do. So this is where I was at. This is the top. This is pages 1 through 4 up here. I am now starting to come down and fill in this whole section here. And when I look on the pattern itself, her face will be in here. Her face will be right around this center here. So my plan is to keep working on her, because I am just loving stitching on her so much. And I love the comments that I get from people when I share her on Facebook, on Instagram, on my videos. I really, really, really love her. I have been spending so much time working on my Alphonse Mucha. There's a lot of confetti in it. I don't care. I love seeing how the colors blend together and create this absolutely gorgeous background. And I am amazed that somebody was able to take Alphonse Mucha's artwork and turn it into these beautiful, beautiful patterns. If you're interested in stitching an Alphonse Mucha, I know that Mystic Stitch and Cross Stitch Collectibles both have absolutely fantastic patterns that you can use. There was one place on Etsy that I had purchased an Alphonse Mucha from. I'm not going to list their name, but I would stay away from Etsy for an Alphonse Mucha, because the quality of that pattern, the detail just was not there. So if you're interested in stitching an Alphonse Mucha, if you need help finding patterns, contact me. I'll do my best to try to help you find something. But like I said, both Mystic Stitch and Cross Stitch Collectibles have had fantastic patterns with the detail that I know I need for these beautiful pieces. If I'm going to spend a year or more stitching on something, it needs detail. It needs to look good, and this one is living up to the first 3 that I did. So I have one more past the stash that I want to do, and then I want to talk about a post of mine on Instagram. So first of all, we're going to do the past the stash. This is a Needleworkers Enthusiasts 2021 Book of Days. I know we've all gotten into the habit of, well, a lot of us have, I know I have, of recording what we're stitching on, when we're stitching on it, when we're doing sals, what hashtags we're using. I'm bad at that. I had purchased this, and while I really, really like it, it wasn't the format that I wanted. So I found another journal that I ordered for myself. And since I had already purchased this one, I don't want it to go to waste. I want to pass it on to somebody else. I want someone else to have something to be thankful for this year. So if you are interested in this 2021 Book of Days, just say Book of Days. And on my next video, I'll let you know who will be getting this lovely little book. It's brand new. There's nothing written in it. 2021 Book of Days. Say Book of Days. Be a subscriber. Be over 18. Don't say giveaway. You know the drill. Okay. The last thing I want to leave you with is a post that I did on Instagram. One of the pages that I follow on Facebook had this post, and I saw it and I thought, I need to do this. So what the post says, can we start a thread of good things that happened to you in 2020? 2020 has not been what any of us expected it to be. It has been more difficult than a lot of us even imagined it could be. There are people whose jobs are impacted. There were people whose families have been impacted. It has affected us, and it has changed our whole sense of what is normal and what is not normal anymore. So I put this up, and I am so tickled that so many people have been replying to it that I wanted to read some of the responses that I've gotten to let you know what other people are being thankful for. I'm not going to mention anybody's names because I didn't ask anyone's permission to do this. And if I think that the post is too personal to them, I'm going to pass over it. I just want to read a couple of the comments that I've received. I'm grateful that my boys are healthy. We have a roof over our heads, food on our table, and we can be silly and have fun even in these hard times. Someone learned how to do 5th grade math, and they are thankful for that. Another lady is grateful that she has her own house. She's retired, and with so many crafts and projects, she'll never be done. Another said, it made me take a look at things differently. Family and friends are everything. It made me realize how special time with them is and how much it will mean when we can all be together again. One lady commented that her husband got a raise this year, and because she wasn't able to work, that helped to lessen how they were affected. Another woman said that she is thankful she has a job she can do from home, which is allowed to trade commute time for stitching time. Her family is healthy. So many people found so many different things to be thankful for. So just simple little things. So I want to take this time to say how thankful I am to all of you. You have allowed me to come into your home. You have allowed me to share my craziness, my stitching, my love for this craft, and for that I am truly thankful. I have made friends with some wonderful ladies because of this community. My Sisters of Bacon, who I absolutely love to death. Becca and Anna, because the three of us have connected and we all have a similar sense of humor, and we've gotten closer because of COVID. My family is healthy. We've been through a lot this year. We made it through the Pacific Northwest fires, and while that was extremely intense, we didn't lose anything, and so many others did. I am thankful that people in this community reached out to me to check on me. I reached out to others to check on them because this year has been hard. So this coming Thursday is Thanksgiving in the United States. I know that because things are shutting down again, that a lot of families won't be getting together in person But I've also seen that Zoom is extending the amount of time that you can use if you do Zoom meetups, so that maybe you can do a Zoom meetup for your Thanksgiving. Something to look into. I hope everybody takes a moment to think of what they have been through this year and what they can be thankful for, because it has changed the way we have to look at how we view life. I can't get up and run out of the house and go do shopping down at the store without taking a face mask with me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So anyway, to everybody who is celebrating Thanksgiving in the United States, I wish you the best Thanksgiving, and I hope that you have something to be thankful for. To everyone else, I wish you all the very best. Live long and stitch on, my friends. Bye-bye.